Signal's weak tonight, but somebody's still talking. TV glow in a motel room, rain crawling down the glass, phone buzzing like a warning sign, but the feeling doesn't pass. Coffee cold on the windowsill, cigarette burn in the sheet. Everybody's got a lot to say, but nobody sounds complete. Mama said, turn it off, son, but silence hits too hard. So I keep the noise alive, like static in the dark. There's static on the line tonight. Everybody talking, but nobody sounds right. Blue light flickering in a dirty room. We all feel the storm before it breaks through. There's static in the blood, static in the brain, static in the preacher calling down the rain. We keep saying we're fine, but there's static on the line. Neighbors wait with the curtains drawn, Main Street's half asleep. Dollar store where the diner was, and church nobody keeps. Old man talks about better days like they're buried in the ground. Kids grow up on borrowed screens, never learn the sound of town. Daddy said, don't trust the signal when the signal's bought and sold. Now every truth comes wrapped in fire, and every lie comes dressed in gold. There's static on the line tonight. Everybody talking, but nobody sounds right. Blue light flickering in a dirty room. We all feel the storm before it breaks through. There's static in the blood, static in the brain, static in the preacher calling down the rain. We keep saying we're fine, but there's static on the line. Somewhere between the headline and the bottle by the bed, I stopped asking what was true and asked what hurt instead. There's static on the line tonight. Whole world shaking, but the screen stays bright. Blue light flickering like a funeral moon. We all hear the storm before it breaks through. Static in the heart, static in the bones, static in the house when you're sitting there alone. We keep saying we're fine. Yeah, we keep saying we're fine, but there's static on the line. Signal's weak tonight. But somebody's still talking. Diesel bread, cold coffee, same road, same ghosts. Exit 43 still burning bright underneath a busted sign. Truckers parked like tired old dogs, waiting on another line. Coffee tastes like rust tonight, hash brown sitting cold. Waitress calls me honey still, like she ain't feeling no. There's a man in booth 3 talking war and gas. Says the world went bad when the factories passed. Exit 43, neon in the rain. Everybody running from a different kind of pain. Old flag whipping on a cracked light pole. Lord, this highway's got a hungry soul. Exit 43, where the tide warms me. Boots full of dust and a pocket full of receipts. We ain't broke yet, but we're close enough to see the whole damn country in exit 43. Payphone hangs like a dead man's hand by the bathroom door. Scratch marks carved in the plastic wall say, can't do this no more. Young girl counting quarters out for gas she can't afford. Man outside in a company coat got laid off at the yard. The radio's playing some old love song, but the speakers crack and bleed. Everybody is still moving, nobody here feels free. Exit 43, neon in the rain. Everybody running from a different kind of pain. Old flag whipping on a cracked light pole. Lord, this highway's got a hungry soul. Exit 43, where the tide warms me. Boots full of dust and a pocket full of receipts. We ain't broke yet, but we're close enough to see the whole damn country in exit 43. There's a Bible in the drawer and a pistol in the glove box, a picture in a wallet of a kid he barely calls. There's a woman in the mirror wiping smoke out of her eyes, saying, baby, keep on driving, ain't no home lifting goodbye. Exit 43, neon in the rain. Everybody running from a different kind of pain. Old flag whipping like it's trying to break free. Lord, this place looks a little too much like me. Exit 43, where the tide warms me, but dreams go quiet and the coffee tastes cheap. We ain't gone yet, but we're close enough to see the whole damn country in exit 43. Diesel breath, cold coffee, still rolling. Wasn't 2 ways, it only turned one direction. You didn't scream when you left me, that would have been too kind. You just looked at me like mercy had finally changed its mind. I stood there in the hallway with my boots nailed to the floor. You said, I can't love a man who don't feel nothing anymore. I almost told you I was sorry, almost found the words, but pride's a loaded pistol, and I pulled it first. You found the off button buried in my chest. One touch and the whole damn thing went dead. No spark, no fire, no blood red flood, just a cold black hole where there used to be love. I keep breathing but I don't come alive. Keep smiling like a man who survived. You didn't break me, baby, you did less. You found the off button buried in my chest. Now the house don't sound empty, it just sounds like the truth. Whiskey on the counter, ashtray full of proof. I don't miss the fighting, I don't miss the blame, but I'd give a damn near anything to feel hurt by your name. Friends say time will heal it, Mama says I'll mend, but some doors don't swing open once they slam shut from within. You found the off button buried in my chest. One touch and the whole damn thing went dead. No spark, no fire, no blood red flood, just a cold black hole where there used to be love. I keep breathing but I don't come alive, keep smiling like a man who survived. You didn't break me, baby, you did less. You found the off button buried in my chest. I used to pray for thunder, now I sleep through storms. Used to burn for something, now I don't get warm. If you came back crying, if you begged me to restart, I don't think I'd find the wires and what's left of my heart. You found the off button buried in my chest. One touch and the whole damn thing went dead. No spark, no fire, no blood red flood, just a cold black hole where there used to be love. I keep breathing but I don't come alive, keep smiling like a man who survived. You didn't kill me, baby, you did less. You found the off button buried in my chest. It only turns one way and you already pressed it. Chains don't always look like chains. Sometimes they come painted pretty. They wrapped it up in colors, sold it on the evening news. Said, boy, you better pick a side before they pick one out for you. Granddad's flag on the front porch, Daddy's rage on Channel 5. Mama cries into the sink while the anchors smile and lie. They don't need a prison when you lock your own damn door. They don't need a war and they can sell you one more. Wrap another chain in red, white, blue. Call it freedom if it comforts you. Tell me I'm free while you tighten the rope. Sell me fear and call it hope. Raise that flag, let the sirens sing. Make a poor man proud of a broken thing. Wrap another chain in red, white, blue. Call it freedom if it comforts you. The preacher's got a microphone, the banker's got a smile, the working man's got empty hands and 1,000 unpaid miles. They tell him who to hate now. They tell him who to blame. They steal the roof from over him and hand him someone's name. Keep him tired, keep him angry, keep him staring at the screen. Hard to see the hand that robs you when they point where you should scream. Wrap another chain in red, white, blue. Call it freedom if it comforts you. Tell me I'm free while you tighten the rope. Sell me fear and call it hope. Raise that flag, let the sirens sing. Make the poor man proud of a broken thing. Wrap another chain in red, white, blue. Call it freedom if it comforts you. They don't need truth, they just need noise. They don't need men, they just need boys. They don't need faith, they just need fear. They don't need answers as long as hate stays near. If it comforts you, tell me I'm free while you close the gate. Feed me pride till I don't taste hate. Oh, raise that flag, let the whole room sing. Dance for the crown while they cut your strings. Wrap another chain in red, white, blue. Call it freedom if it comforts you. Chains don't always rattle, sometimes they sing. Bells ring at 10. Nobody came. Empty church parking lot, Sunday morning gray. Rainwater in the potholes where the faithful used to pray. White paint peeling off the steeple, cross leaning to the side. Sign says come as you are, but the doors are locked inside. Mama used to sing here, Daddy bowed his head. Now the choir loft's got cobwebs and the hymnals smell like dead. Empty church parking lot, bells still ring, but nobody stops. God might be home, but the town forgot how to kneel when the world got hot. Empty pews and a cracked old floor. Faith don't live here like before. Heaven feels a long way off from an empty church parking lot. Pastor left last winter, took a job 3 towns away. Said he couldn't feed his babies on We'll Pray For You someday. Kids don't know the old songs, men don't know their names. Everybody worships something most just won't say. There's a Bible in the lost and found, with a photograph inside of a family all together before everything divided. Empty church parking lot, bells still ring, but nobody stops. God might be home, but the town Maybe Grace got drowned by all the televisions. Maybe Mercy's still here, sitting in the rain, waiting on one tired soul to come home again. Into church parking lot, bells still ring, but nobody stops. God might be home, but the town forgot how to hurt without turning hard. Empty pews and a cracked old floor. Faith don't live here like before, but I swear I heard my mama cough in that empty church parking lot. Bells rang tin. I almost went in. Everybody gets a villain. Mine looked a lot like me. Blame it on the woman who finally walked away. Blame it on the bottle. Blame it on a bad day. Blame it on my old man and the fist he never threw. Blame it on the world, like the world made me choose. Truth came in quiet, didn't kick down the door. Just stood there in the mirror until I couldn't lie no more. One bad apple spoils a whole damn bunch. Funny thing is I knew what I'd become. Right in the middle, shine on the skin, smiling like a saint with the devil tucked in. I kept pointing fingers, kept passing the blame, setting fires, then cursing the flame. One bad apple spoils a whole damn bunch. Funny thing is I knew what I'd become. Mama said I was tender before I learned to bite, before I mistook being cruel for knowing how to fight. Had a good woman love me, had a good dog wait, had a warm house standing till I poisoned that place. Ain't no use running from a truth that knows your name. You can leave the orchard, son, but the rock still tastes the same. Oh, one bad apple spoils a whole damn bunch. Funny thing is I knew what I'd become. Right in the middle, shine on the skin, smiling like a saint with the devil tucked in. I kept pointing fingers, kept passing the blame, setting fires, then cursing the flame. One bad apple spoils a whole damn bunch. Funny thing is I knew what I'd become. If she ever hears this, tell her I ain't asking home. Some men don't deserve forgiveness, they just learn to sleep alone. One bad apple spoils the whole damn bunch. Funny thing is I knew what I'd become. Right in the middle, shining on the skin. No use pretending when the mirror walks in. I kept pointing fingers, kept passing the blame. Now every ghost in this house wears my name. One bad apple spoils a whole damn bunch. Funny thing is I knew what I'd become. punching, clock out, break down quiet. Fluorescent lights hum like angry bees over concrete floors. Steel-toed prayers and vending machine meals, same hell as the night before. Thomas got a back brace, Rose has got 2 jobs. Caleb talks to Jesus when the forklift starts to cough. Nobody here is lazy, nobody here is saved. Just a row of tied halos over minimum wage. Night shift saints with nicotine halos, punching clocks while the whole world caves slow. Coffee black and eyes half dead, dreams stacked up in a warehouse bed. Night shift saints on the mercury light, holding up tomorrow with their backs tonight. Nobody sees and nobody thanks the broken hands of the night shift saints. Radio spits static from a busted old machine. Boss man says we're family, then cuts another team. Jenny hides her shaking hands behind the bathroom stall. Mike don't take his wedding ring off, though she don't call. There's a siren in the distance, there's a storm behind the glass. There's a country built on overtime that still says work don't last. Night shift saints with nicotine halos, punching clocks while the whole world caves slow. Coffee black and eyes half dead, dreams stacked up in a warehouse bed. Night shift saints on the mercury light, holding up tomorrow with their backs tonight. Nobody sees and nobody thanks the broken hands of the night shift saints. Box by box, bone by bone, load that truck then drive home alone. Bill by bill, prayer by prayer, keep on breathing, ain't no spare air. Night shift saints with nicotine halos, punching clocks while the whole world caves slow. Coffee black and hearts worn thin, clock out tired, then clock back in. Night shift saints on the mercury light, holding up tomorrow with their backs tonight. Nobody sees and nobody thanks the broken hands of the night shift saints. Punching, clock out, break down quiet. You hear that? That little sound? That's how it starts. Little crack above the doorway, nobody patched in spring. Little lie at the dinner table, nobody said a thing. Little fight down at the market, little shove out in the street. Little boy learns from his daddy who he's supposed to be. Everybody keeps on smiling, everybody says it's fine, but has a language, and it speaks in tiny lines. The glass is cracking, can't you hear it spread? Running through the walls, running through our heads. The glass is cracking, but we still pour wine. Raise another toast to the end of good times. Everybody laughing, everybody acting like the glass ain't cracking tonight. Little screen on every table, little war inside each hand. Little truth gets buried under little things we understand. Little towns lose their grocery stores, little farms lose their rain. Little kids grow up believing that angry feels the same as brave. Nobody sees the fraction till the window finally breaks. Nobody calls it falling till the ground starts to shake. The glass is cracking, can't you hear it spread? Running through the walls, running through our heads. The glass is cracking, but we still pour wine. Raise another toast to the end of good times. Everybody laughing, everybody acting like the glass ain't cracking tonight. First it's a whisper, then it's a line, then it's a warning, then it's a sign. Then it's your neighbor, then it's your friend, then it's your mirror, looking back again. Can't you hear it scream? Running through the houses, running through the dream. The glass is cracking, but we still stay blind. Dancing on a fault line, calling it a good time. Everybody laughing, everybody acting like the glass ain't cracking tonight. That little sound, that's how it starts. There's a certain kind of quiet only a garage knows. 3 a.m. in the garage again, socket wrench in my hand, fixing something that ain't broken, 'cause I can't fix who I am. Old radio on the workbench, playing songs from '95, back when everybody I loved was still mostly alive. There's oil on my fingers, there's ghosts in the chrome, and every light I turn on just shows I'm alone. 3 a.m. in the garage again, talking to ghosts that ain't listening. The dog's asleep and the house is still, but memory hits like a whiskey spill. I don't cry where the world can see. I save that hell for the concrete. 3 a.m. in the garage again, talking to ghosts that ain't listening. Dad's old jacket on a nail still smells like dust and rain. I used to hate the way he shut down. Now I do the damn same thing. There's a picture in a toolbox of my brother and me, before cancer took his body, before years took what was free. I ain't built for confession, I ain't good on my knees, but I swear these rusty engines know the worst parts of me. 3 a.m. in the garage again, talking to ghosts that ain't listening. The dog's asleep and the house is still, but memory hits like a whiskey spill. I don't cry where the world can see. I save that hell for the concrete. 3 a.m. in the garage again, talking to ghosts that ain't listening. If grief had a motor, I'd tear it apart, lay every piece on the bench and rebuild my heart. But some things stay missing, no matter what you say. And some men keep living like they're halfway in a grave. 3 a.m. in the garage again, talking to ghosts that ain't listening. The dog's asleep and the house is still, but memory hits like a whiskey spill. I don't cry where the world can see. I save that hell for the concrete. 3 a.m. in the garage again, talking to ghosts that ain't listening. There's a certain kind of quiet only a garage knows. And it knows me. It didn't start with sirens, didn't start with smoke. Started with a tired man laughing at a cruel little joke. Started with a mother skipping dinner for the kids. Started with a locked front door and all the things we hid. Started with I'm fine. Started with not me. Started with the little eyes that help the blind not see. Nobody noticed when the fall began, just little cracks running through the land. Smiles on screens while the lights burned dim. We kept dancing while the edge gave in. Nobody screamed, nobody called, nobody named it the fall. We just kept saying we had it all, while the whole thing learned to crawl. It didn't start with armies, didn't start with guns. Started when the truth got tired and the lies learned to run. Started when the neighbors asking who was ill. Started when the church bells rang and nobody climbed the hill. Started with the cheap seats, started with the blame. Started when a working man forgot his brother's name. Nobody noticed when the fall began, just little cracks running through the land. Smiles on screens while the lights burned dim. We kept dancing while the edge gave in. Nobody screamed, nobody called, nobody named it the fall. We just kept saying we had it all, while the whole thing learned to crawl. There was music in the kitchen, there was static in the hall. There were pictures on the mantle of people we forgot to call. There was whiskey in the cupboard, there was mercy left unused. There was time to turn around, but we called it old news. Nobody noticed when the fall began, just little cracks running through the land. Smiles on the screens while the lights burned in. We kept dancing while the edge gave in. Nobody screamed, nobody called, nobody named it the fall. We just kept saying we had it all, till there was nothing left at all. Nobody heard the first crack, but everybody heard the last one. Sirens again tonight, hard to tell if they're getting closer, or if we're just listening now. Blue lights flash across the ceiling like lightning in a storm. Neighbor's dog won't stop barking, something feels wrong. Man on TV says stay calm while the ticker bleeds below. Kids still riding bikes at sunset like they don't already know. Everybody feels it, nobody says a word, like a tremor underneath us, too deep to be heard. There's sirens in the distance tonight, echoes rolling through the neighborhood light. Everybody staring through the blinds, praying things will turn out fine. There's tension in the air, so thick, feels like the whole damn world might split. Sirens in the distance tonight, and nobody sleeps right anymore. Gas station television screaming, another reason to fear. Old man mutters, here we go again, as he cracks another beer. Church bells ring 7, but the pews stay half empty now. People still wave at each other, they just don't know how. Mama locks the back door early, Dad checks the news again. Everybody keeps pretending this is temporary tension. Nobody says collapse, nobody says decay. Fear hangs over every porch like thunder before rain. There's sirens in the distance tonight, red and blue paint, shadows white. Everybody waiting for the spark, like dry wood in the dark. There's tension in the air, so thick, feels like the whole damn world might split. Sirens in the distance tonight, and nobody sleeps right anymore. Used to be storms passed over, now they settle in your chest. Every conversation sounds like somebody's being tested. Used to be the future, felt like something you could trust. Now every headline tastes like smoke, and every prayer tastes like rust. There's sirens in the distance tonight, whole neighborhood bathed in flashing light. Everybody pretending this is fine, while panic grows behind their eyes. There's tension in the air, so thick, feels like the whole damn world might split. Sirens in the distance tonight, and nobody sleeps right anymore. Hard to tell if they're getting closer, or if we're just listening now. Mama stopped calling on Sundays, Dad quit saying grace. Brother blocked me last November over something nobody can trace. Used to laugh around the kitchen, now silence fills the room. Everybody waits for somebody to light the fuse. Broken family portrait hanging crooked on the wall, smiling faces frozen while the real thing falls. We still share the same blood, still share the same name, but somewhere along the line, love got replaced with blame. Grandpa says the country's dying, sister says it already did. Nieces learn to hate online before they learn forgiveness. Mama cries behind the dishes, pretend she's doing fine, but grief moves quiet through her house. Long before goodbye, nobody threw a punch, nobody burned the place down. We just stopped hearing each other, one headline at a time. Broken family portrait hanging crooked on the wall, smiling faces frozen while the real thing falls. We still share the same blood, still share the same scars, but now every holiday feels like strangers in the dark. Thanksgiving table half empty, football glowing in the den. Everybody talks around the wound, nobody wants to begin. Dad stares into his whiskey like answers might appear. Mama says, please stop fighting, people who stopped hearing years ago. Used to be hard times pulled us closer, now hard times pull apart. Funny how fear slips easy into a tired heart. Broken family portrait hanging crooked on the wall, smiling faces frozen while the real thing falls. We still share the same blood, still carry the same past, but every year it feels a little more like nothing good can last. Still got the picture. Lost a family. Everybody's screaming, nobody's really there. Bots fighting bots in electric air. Fake smiles, fake outrage, fake tears on command. Whole world turning digital, no one touching hands. Dead internet, ghosts behind the screen. Everybody talking loud, but nobody says a thing. Dead internet, static in the veins. We built a world together, then forgot each other's names. Some news from strangers. Dad gets raised delivered daily. Kids learn love through filters now. Everything feels hazy. I scroll until my eyes go numb. Can't tell truth from theater. Lonely people selling loneliness to lonely people cheaper. Maybe the machines ain't winning. Maybe we just disappear. One notification at a time, one manufactured fear. Dead internet, ghosts behind the screen. Everybody's searching hard for something real to mean. Full of lies, whole world connected now, but nobody feels alive. Static preacher on Channel 9, sweat dripping under studio lights. Says salvation costs 25, and fear keeps the ratings high. Cross around his neck shines gold, eyes don't blink when the cameras roll. Talks about mercy with clenched white teeth, like God's got sponsors underneath. Static preachers scream my name, sell me fire and holy shame. Tell me heaven's almost gone, as long as I keep tuning on. Static preacher in electric light, make me scared so I sleep at night. Everybody wants belief, even if it's so cheap. Young men march like drones. He says enemies walk among us now, and the room erupts somehow. Outside the city floods with rain, inside the choir chants amen. Truth sounds smaller every year, fear sounds crystal clear. He sells certainty like medicine to the weak, but panic keeps the lights on, and panic pays the heat. Static preachers scream my name, turn my sorrow into flame. Tell me who to hate tonight, so I can feel morally right. Static preacher in electric light, sell me darkness wrapped in white. Everybody wants belief, even counterfeit relief. Maybe faith ain't broken, maybe we just learn to market it. Maybe fear sounds holy now, because we got addicted to it. Steady preachers scream my name, every channel sounds the same. Everybody wants someone to tell them who they've become. Static preacher in electric light, sell me certainty tonight. Everybody wants relief, even if it costs belief. Went down to the grocery store, half the aisles were bare. Woman clutching bottled water like salvation sitting there. Cashier says supply chain issues, but her ass says something else. Everybody suddenly polite and scared as hell. Empty shelves, empty smiles, everybody holding panic for a little while. Empty shelves, fluorescent lights, feel like judgment hanging over us tonight. Old man bought 6 bags of rice, young mom cried in line. People start hoarding fear long before they run out of time. The television says don't worry, which means it's time to worry more. Funny how survival starts at the automatic doors. Little shortages, little cracks, little signs nobody takes back. Empty shelves, store gone cold. Funny how fast comfort gets sold. Empty shelves, shaking hands, suddenly understands. Truck outside still unloading, but rumors move faster than truth. People fill in cards with panic, like fear itself needs room. The little girl asks her mom, are we gonna be okay? Mama smiles and lies softly, we'll be fine, baby. Nobody's starving yet, that's what makes it worse. The fear arrives before the hunger, like thunder, before the earth breaks. Empty shells, empty praise. Everybody suddenly aware. Empty shelves, store gone dim. Funny how fragile comfort's been. Everybody claims they're righteous, everybody swings a blade, everybody says they're saving us, while another line gets crossed today. Heroes sell advertisements now, villains shake your hand. Truth got drowned somewhere between the slogans and demands. There ain't no good guys anymore, just different shades of war. Everybody keeps score, nobody keeps souls. There ain't no good guys anymore, just tired hearts and closing doors. Everybody wants revenge, nobody wants to heal. Mama says be careful, son. Dad says pick a side. But all I see is broken people, too angry left to cry. Everybody talks in battle lines, nobody talks like friends. Everybody wants the conflict, nobody wants the end. Every saint's got sponsors now, every sinner's got a show. Everybody's selling certainty to people scared to know. There ain't no good guys anymore, just louder kinds of pain. Everybody waving flags like flags can stop the rain. There ain't no good guys anymore, just fear behind closed doors. Everybody wants somebody to blame for feeling lost. Maybe evil ain't a monster, maybe it's exhaustion multiplied. Maybe fear just grows best in people too tired to decide. There ain't no good guys anymore, just people scared to death, swinging fear like loaded guns till nothing human situation now. Feels dangerous to think people film each other fighting. Nobody steps between. Whole world turns surveillance and call itself clean. Under the floodlights tonight, everything looks guilty and white. Everybody watching everybody else, nobody trusting themselves. Under the floodlights tonight, no shadows left to hide inside, just pressure burning through the dark, till paranoia hits the heart. Phones held high like weapons now, every mistake preserved. Mercy dies a little more every time outrage gets served. Kids grow up already knowing privacy's a ghost. Everybody terrified of becoming the next post. You can feel the pressure humming under every crowded room, like the whole world's waiting for someone else to lose. Under the floodlights tonight, everything looks wrong and white. Everybody scanning every face, like trust itself got erased. Hid danger, now the light feels worse somehow. Used to fear being unseen, now everybody's exposed now. Under the floodlight tonight, no room left for wrong or right. Everybody watching everybody fall, nobody feels human at all. You still sleep beside me, still wear my last name, but every conversation now feels loaded with blame. Used to know your laughter, used to know your eyes. Now we sit in silence, watching different lives. There's a stranger in my house tonight, looks like you under the kitchen light. Same voice, same skin, same face somehow, but I don't know you now. You stare into your phone screen, I stare into the sink, both waiting for the other one to say what we both think. Used to touch without fear, used to dream out loud. Now every little disagreement feels like war somehow. Nobody cheated, nobody ran, we just slowly became different kinds of damage. There's a stranger in my house tonight, moving through rooms we built together, right? Same memories hanging on the wall somehow. But I don't know you now. I don't know you now. Maybe love don't die loudly. Maybe it fades in pieces, one cold dinner at a time. One unfinished sentence. There's a stranger in my house tonight. Maybe I became one too. Two exhausted people underneath one roof, pretending we still break through. Another warning on the television, another panic in the street. Everybody's tired of running from disasters on repeat. We got numb to all the sirens, numb to all the fear. Funny how the loudest warnings disappear after a year. False alarm again tonight. Maybe wrong, maybe right. Everybody too burned out to care, till the real thing hits the air. Market crash, another breaking headline scrolls. Everybody keeps pretending this exhaustion's under control. Kids joke about collapse now, like it's weather in July. Hard to fear the future when survival already feels tight. Every crisis sounds the same, every warning blends together. Fear gets cheaper every year, till numbness feels like shelter. False alarm again tonight. Everybody tired of fight or flight. We keep hearing danger all day long, till danger just becomes the song. Don't arrive all at once. Maybe they drip slow enough that we adapt before we run. It falls alarm again tonight. Maybe this one finally bites. Everybody too worn down to flee, till the ground gives underneath. something to lose. Little cracks became canyons, little fights became war, and the things we used to whisper ain't whispered anymore. This is the fracture, this is the split, this is the moment, the sand that don't hold a bit. This is the fracture, feel it in the walls. Nobody noticed the pressure till everything started to fall. Restaurants half empty now, people stare into screens. Old friends pass each other quietly, like strangers in between. Churches preach survival, schools teach fear politely. Everybody acting normal while panic spreads nightly. Nobody says collapse, cause collapse sounds dramatic, but everybody feels the tension. Growing automatic. This is the fracture, this is the divide. Everybody screaming loud now, just to feel alive. This is the fracture, hear the structure groan. Whole damn country breaking, one lonely heart at a time. Maybe collapse ain't sudden, maybe it's slow enough to normalize. Maybe the world breaks quietly behind exhausted eyes. Maybe we crossed the line years before we knew. Maybe the fracture started inside me and you. This is the fracture, feel it in your chest. Whole world learning slowly, fear outlives the rest. This is the fracture, hear the tension call. Nobody noticed the pressure till everything started to fall. Ooh, the cracks were always there. Now everybody sees them. You don't notice how much the world hums until it stops. Phone screen dead by morning, no bars left to find. Satellite went silent sometime around 9:15. Traffic lights all dark now, bank doors chained shut. People standing in the intersections like nobody knows what's up. No signal tonight, no voice on the line, no glow through the wires, no comfort disguised, no signal tonight, just silence and fear. Funny how loud the world gets when nothing works here. Mama keeps refreshing nothing, Dad keeps checking clocks. Kids ask if the internet's broken, like God forgot the box. Neighbors stand in driveways, Nobody says much, everybody realizing slowly how fragile all this was. We built our lives on invisible things, signal systems, endless streams. Never thought to ask ourselves, what happens when the current leaves? No signal tonight, no hum in the walls, no illusion of control, no system at all. No signal tonight, no future to sell, just people in the dark, listening to themselves. You don't notice how much the world hums until it stops. Generator buzz outside the house like an old tired heart. Extension cords through broken windows, trying to hold the dark. Mama eats soup on a propane stove, kids wrapped up in coats. Everybody acting normal while fear sits in the smoke. Under generator light tonight, faces flicker pale and white. Whole world shrunk down to one room, one weak bulb fighting doom. Under generator light tonight, people pray softer than before. Funny how collapse feels smaller when you love somebody more. Trades 2 gallons of gas for canned peaches and bread. Old men gathering, folding chairs, talking low instead. Nobody laughs as easy now, nobody wastes a thing. What survival really means. Outside the town's gone black, but inside this room, for one more night, we still belong to each other. Under generator light tonight, every shadow feels alive, but your hand still feels like home in this half-dead life. Under generator light tonight, whole world shaking at the seams. Interstate 5 at sunset, no headlights for miles, just abandoned cars and storm clouds, stretching endless and wild. Billboards peeling in the distance, gas stations pick clean. Whole damn country feels haunted now, like a half-forgotten dream. Empty interstate tonight, no destination left in sight. Everybody ran somewhere, now there's nobody out there. Empty interstate tonight, concrete veins gone cold and dry. Funny how freedom looks so big till there was nowhere left to drive. Truck stopped dying, boarded shut, map still on the wall. Coffee cups collecting dust now. Nobody calls. Army convoy passed last Tuesday, never came back through. People whisper rumors softly, like rumors might stay true. Used to think movement meant freedom, now movement just means fear. Everybody's searching for somewhere to still feel safe here. Empty interstate tonight, moonlight on abandoned lines. Whole world stopped without a sound, like something finally gave out. Water line wrapped around the block, 5-gallon buckets in hand. National Guard at the intersection, trying to look like a plan. Little girl asks her mama quietly, when's the water coming back? Mama says soon, with dead eyes, staring somewhere past the facts. Water line today, everybody sweating in the heat. Water line today, nobody knows who's next to eat. Water line today, whole town standing still. Funny how fast civilization cracks when you can't turn on the sink. Old men trade cigarettes, young boys carry canes. People suddenly realizing now how thin comfort stands. Rumors spread like wildfire, someone says the pipes are gone. to stay strong. You learn a lot about people, watching them wait thirsty. Waterline today, nobody's screaming yet, just tired eyes and aching backs, trying not to regret. Waterline today, heat rising off the street, whole world reduced to standing still, praying for relief. Canned goods and cigarettes, that's a new economy. Trade a little whiskey now for batteries and gasoline. Old Walmart parking lot turned flea market overnight. Everybody hustling survival under floodlight skies. Canned goods and cigarettes, funny what survives the end. People still chasing comfort even when the world caves in. Canned goods and cigarettes, small talk in the dark, whole damn country barbering now piece by broken piece apart. Canned peaches for antibiotics and salt. Man trades shotgun shells for fixing somebody's vault. Nobody talks politics now, nobody argues online. Everybody suddenly understands what actually keeps you alive. Turns out civilization's thinner we ever thought before. Canned goods and cigarettes, that's what's left tonight. Human beings making markets under dying light. Battery radio on the counter, still spitting static through the night. Same calm voice every evening, saying everything's alright. We all know he's lying now, but nobody turns him off. Something about a human voice makes the silence less rough. Radio keeps talking tonight, even after the world went dark. One tired voice in the static, trying to hold together hearts. The radio keeps talking tonight like maybe words can stop collapse, like maybe hearing somebody breathe keeps us from fading fast. He reads old weather reports now, like rituals from another age. Mentions towns already gone, like they're still on the page. before the grid went dead. Funny how memory survives long after comfort ends. Maybe hope sounds smaller now, but smaller things survive longer. The radio keeps talking tonight, one weak signal through the dark. Whole world hanging by a voice, floating lost through broken sparks. Cold house in November, blankets nailed across the doors. Everybody sleeping closer now, on creaking wooden floors. No heat left in the furnace, no money left for fuel. Dead jobs, furniture for firewood, breaking every rule. Cold house tonight, breath hanging in the air. Cold house tonight, everybody pretending not to be scared. Cold house tonight, silence in the walls. Funny how fear echoes louder when the temperature falls. Mama wraps the baby tighter, old dog sleeps near the flame. Nobody talks about tomorrow, 'cause tomorrow feels the same. You find out what love is worth when survival gets expensive. Cold house tonight, but your hand still feels warm. Maybe that's the last thing left that survives the storm. Churchyard filled up months ago, ground froze hard by the fall. Pastor stopped holding services after the second call. People quit saying names out loud, like grief costs too much breath. Everybody learning on this now, just to survive death. We don't bury people anymore, just cover up the mirrors and lock the doors. We don't cry strength for mourning anymore. Stop for funerals, used to wear black ties. Now the trucks keep moving slow past another set of eyes. Nobody means disrespect, everybody's just one thing. Collapse doesn't make monsters, it just grinds people down within. The scariest thing about survival is how normal horror gets. We don't bury people anymore, just whisper prayers and move along. Whole world running out of tears before it runs out of loss. Exit 43 still glowing, generator hanging on, half the windows boarded over, but the coffee's still warm. All men sitting near the doorway, trading rumors and diesel fuel. Everybody's suddenly polite now, survival rewrites rules. Last truck stop tonight, neon flickering, weak and tired. Last truck stop tonight. Whole world shrinking around the fire. Last truck stop tonight. Funny how some places remain even after everything else starts slipping away. Waitress still calls me honey, though she looks 10 years older now. Nobody asks where you're headed, nobody asks how. Maybe civilization survived one small ritual at a time. Last truck stop tonight, coffee steam and dying light. Whole world broken outside these doors. didn't happen all at once. That's the lie people tell. No giant explosion, no sudden bell. Just systems failing quietly, one exhausted day at a time. People adapting slowly till collapse felt normalized. This is collapse tonight. Not fire, not glory, not fight. Just tired eyes under broken light, trying to survive the night. This is collapse tonight. The long, slow death of certainty. The moment people understand nothing's coming to save me. Gone dark by winter, schools turn shelter halls. Everybody learning silence as old structures fall. Maybe collapse was never an event. Maybe it was a process of forgetting how to belong to each other. This is collapse tonight. Feel it settling in your bones. Whole damn world still standing, but nobody feels at home. This is collapse tonight. Quiet as the falling snow. Nobody cheering for survival, just trying not to let go. Giant explosion, just the slow sound of everything giving way. City lights died one by one, like cigarettes in the rain. Every screen went dark at midnight, and nobody knew who to blame. Neighbors stood in silent driveways, holding phones that couldn't call, like pilgrims waiting for salvation from systems already gone. We built cathedrals out of wires, prayed to signals in the sky. Never thought the ghost inside them could someday finally die. After the sirens stopped screaming, after the headlines burned away, all we had left was silence and ghosts too tired to pray. No heroes came to save us, no answers ever arrived. Just empty streets and smoke trails, and people learning how to survive. How to survive. The grocery shelves turned skeletal, traffic lights blinked themselves blind. Every man became an island, every woman lost some time. Children asked if this was normal, parents lied through broken teeth, while generators cough like old men, trying hard enough to breathe. Maybe the fall ain't thunder, maybe it whispers instead. Maybe the world keeps moving long after hope is dead. After the sirens stop screaming, after the towers lost their glow, the whole damn world went quiet, like God finally let go. Church bells rusted silent, cross burned black with smoke. Preacher keeps on preaching to people already broke. Bible pages soaked in whiskey, hands folded out of fear. Everybody waits for heaven, but heaven ain't been here. Ashes don't pray anymore, can't kneel on a burned out floor. Faith gets thin when the wolves get fed, and the angels all leave instead. Ashes don't pray anymore. Its voices, factories swallowed the town. Old men drink on porches, watching everything drown. Flags hanging tired and faded, like promises gone wrong. Everybody's still pretending this ain't where we belong. That sold itself for comfort. Ashes don't pray anymore, they just drift through broken doors, carried by the same cold wind that finally let the darkness in. Static in the dashboard glow, dead towers line the road. Silence felt radioactive, heavy in my bones. Every mile looked abandoned, like people disappeared mid-sentence, like the whole damn country froze, waiting for permission. No signal, no voices through the wire, no signal, just smoke and burning tires. destiny. Billboards peel like dead skin, gas stations hollowed out. Dogs bark somewhere distant, like warnings from the dark. Every exit led to nowhere, every highway felt condemned. The world kept driving forward, even after it should have ended. Funny how the silence was louder than the noise. No signal, no gods left on the line. No signal, just the end of better times. Voice came through the static, weak as fading light. Said if anybody hears this, we won't make it through the night. Transmission cracked like thunder, then disappeared again, like the whole damn world was drowning and nobody could swim. This is the last broadcast, last words from the other side. If anybody's listening, tell them we tried. Tell them we fought the darkness until the wires went dead. This is the last broadcast, from the living to the left behind. Rain hitting old antennas, like ghosts tapping at the roof. Somewhere in the distance, another city disappeared, and every broken frequency sounded more like prayer than anything the churches ever taught us there. This is the last broadcast, and the signal's growing thin. May God forgive the fools we were for the world we let cave in. Old house at the edge of nowhere, still glowing through the dark, like somebody forgot to tell it. The world had fell apart. Screen door creaks like memory. Wind moves through the pines, and somewhere deep inside me, something finally dies. Maybe God left the porch light on for the ones to Maybe God left the porch light on. Mama's chair still sitting there, dust thick as regret. Every room a graveyard of things I can't forget. And every broken picture frame still cuts just like truth. Funny how the dead can haunt without leaving the room. Rust and the rain, everything fades the same. Steel turns red, memories decay. Nothing survives forever, not even pain. Factory bones against gray skies, train tracks swallowed by the weeds. Whole towns disappearing quietly, like they never had dreams. Rain washing over storefronts, names nobody says now. America rusting slowly, right before us somehow. Main Street looks like a graveyard, storefront eyes all black. Dust settling on old neon that ain't never coming back. Liquor store still standing somehow, like sin survives the flood, while church doors hang wide open, covered in rust and mud. Factory ghosts still linger in the smoke above the tracks. Old men drink in silence with the past strapped to their backs. Every conversation circles back to what this town became. Everybody blames somebody, but the ending came the same. And every cracked out speaker still humming half a hymn, like the town itself remembers what it used to have within. Dead town choir singing through broken teeth. Every song sounds tired, every prayer sounds weak. Dead town choir still humming through the smoke, trying to stay warm while the whole damn world goes cold. Kids spray paint the silence on walls already cracked. Dreams dried up years ago here, and nobody's getting back. Gas pumps frozen empty, movie theater boarded shut, But the jukebox at the tavern still bleeds country through the dust. Maybe every town dies twice, once when the money leaves, and once when the people finally stop believing. Hear 'em singing.
Ghosts beneath the power lines,
Trying to remember what hope sounded like. That town choir, one last hymn for the damned. That town choir, still reaching empty hands. That town choir, voices buried in the cold, trying to outsing silence, swallowing the world. Been driving through dead counties with the headlights cutting rain. Every exit looks abandoned, every town forgets its name. Billboards hanging sideways like warnings from the past, and every mile feels haunted by things that didn't last. Gas station coffee tastes bitter, like regret and burned out time. Radio keeps fading in and out, like I dropped off the line. Saw a dog standing in the highway, wouldn't move when I passed by, just stared into the darkness like he already knew why. Funny how the road keeps going even after hope runs dry. Where the roads end, that's where I found myself. No maps left to follow, no heaven left to sail. Where the roads end, silence finally speaks, and the truth hits harder when there ain't nobody left to blame but me. Every bridge I crossed felt fragile, every city looked half dead. Smokestacks carved against the skyline like gravestones overhead. And somewhere in the static, I swear I heard my name, or maybe just the echo of the man I used to be. Spent my whole damn life trying to outrun collapse. Didn't realize it was riding in the backseat. No signs, no lights, no future waiting, just asphalt and ghosts. Where the roads end, that's where the masks fall off. No crowds left to hide inside, no lies left soft enough. Where the roads end, you finally meet yourself, and there ain't nowhere left to run. When the world becomes a mirror, First the phone started ringing, then the power grids went black, then the cities lost their voices and never got them back. Newsmen disappeared mid-sentence, like somebody cut the wire, and every screen in every household died beneath the fire. No more shouting from the TV, no more prophets online, no more algorithms feeding us fear disguised as pride. Just the sound of distant weather and refrigerators dying slow. Funny how the silence felt cleaner than anything we used to know. Maybe noise was just distraction, keeping us from seeing the fall. The world went quiet, not all at once, just piece by piece, until silence won. The world went quiet, like a final breath at dawn, and nobody noticed how long the soul had already been gone. People gathered on front porches like survivors after war, speaking softer than they used to, like language heard before. Kids looked up at actual stars instead of poison blue light, and for one strange moment everything almost felt alright.
Maybe the end ain't thunder, maybe it's surrender instead.
No alerts, no outrage, no constant screaming, just whine through empty wires. The world went quiet, and something inside us did too. All the lies finally buried beneath the weight of truth. The world went quiet, and the silence felt enormous, like standing in the ruins of everything we worship. Guess this is what's left now, after the towers lost their glow, after the market stopped pretending they were still in control. Every promise sold like medicine, every truth bent thin, until the whole damn structure collapsed beneath its own weight again. People still wake up working, like routine can stop decay. Still pouring coffee in silence, still trying to survive the day. But the eyes all look different now, like something finally snapped, like everybody sees the fire but nobody knows how to react. We kept building higher on foundations already cracked. Nothing left to fall now, nothing left to break. We already lost tomorrow. quicker like heartbeats. Factories breathe their smoke. Politicians still sell salvation to people already broke. And somewhere a child keeps laughing like the future still exists, while the rest of us stand frozen inside this slow apocalypse. Maybe collapse ain't sudden, maybe it's erosion. Maybe civilizations die the same way people do, slowly, quietly, one compromise at a time. Nothing left to fall now, the bottom finally gave way. All the kings and corporations couldn't buy another day. Nothing left to fall now, no illusion left to defend. Just smoke rolling through the ruins and the sound of the world caving in. Maybe this was always coming. Maybe deep down